Let's make some French macarons today! Hey girl, what you doing? Hey girl, where you going? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's Jordan.
DeSantis.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. As you may have heard from my intro, we're making French macarons again today. I think I finally gotten to the point where they look really nice. What I'm trying to combat today is the fact that sometimes I have too much air in the top of my macarons. So today, I'm trying to make them in a way that they do not crumble when people touch them. Because if they look nice, that's one thing, but you have to be able to hold them in order to be able to eat them. That's like part of the whole sandwich macaron thing. So let's get cooking. So the basic recipe is still the same that I used last time. If you didn't see my last video, it's okay. I'm still gonna walk through the steps with you, and I'm actually using a different recipe. I'm using the Food Network's recipe. I figured why not give it a try. I'm gonna link that down below, but it's the same starting step as all the other recipes that I've used. I'm gonna sift together my flour, my almond flour, and my confectioner's sugar, which is just powdered sugar. So I need 1 cup and 3/4 confectioner's sugar. 1 cup. It's like my cat likes the good pats. He's passed out on the couch over there. Oh, and don't panic. I washed my hands earlier, but I wanted to rewash them because I just went over and touched the cat, and it's very important. Ooh, that's hot. To wash your hands. So literally breaks the bacteria membrane. So it literally kills viruses. I'm also pretty convinced that there are few things that are messier than powdered sugar and flour. I mean, powdered sugar especially is so clingy, which is not a good look. And I don't want it to cling to my Star Wars hoodie, but I knew I was baking today and this is what I wore, so I gotta deal with it. Next comes 1 cup of almond flour. Our almond flour comes from Thrive Market. I'm a huge fan of Thrive Market. They're a zero waste facility, and I think that that is pretty cool. I actually wanted to do some research into what it means to be a zero waste facility because it sounds really nice, but what does it actually mean? Wow, this is already really fine almond powder. And it says to use a rubber spatula to help press as much through as possible because you want to have as little left, obviously, as possible. Wow, I got most of it. It's pretty good. And then it just says to pitch the rest. I ended up resifting all of it together. I did the confectioner sugar and then the almond flour by themselves, and I felt like my confectioner sugar was kind of clumping up. I took everything that was in the big bowl, sifted it into this slightly smaller bowl, and it is much better. But now we're gonna move over to my mixer. So right now I'm separating the egg yellows from the egg whites, and I'm putting their shells in a little dish because we like to compost. And we get our eggs from someone who lives literally down the street from us and has chickens. We get our eggs from chickens that we know. Well, now we put these egg yellows elsewhere because I don't need them for this recipe. And I don't need the eggshells either, but we do need the egg whites. I'm going to whisk them up in this bowl. What is this called? This is a mixer. Ha! I'm having trouble with words today. So I'm actually gonna see if these are room temperature because it said to have them be room temperature. And I don't really want to stick my finger in there.
That's what she said.
I'm gonna let them sit for a little bit.
2 very boring minutes later.
Okay, so I waited what I believe to be an appropriate amount of time for these to become room temperature. And that's the tea. So I'm gonna start whisking them. The recipe says to add the cream and tartar of salt before they get frothy, but I like to let the eggs themselves get frothy before I add anything to them. I don't know why. It's just what I've found has worked for me. And they say to start on medium and then you can progress to high. Oh, they're already frothy. So I'm gonna add the cream of tartar, 1/4 of a teaspoon, and that just helps thicken them up. And then it says a pinch of salt. Pinch. They're very frothy. I'm gonna take you guys to look at how frothy these are. Yeah. I'm gonna increase the speed to high and add my sugar slowly. Oh, and I added 1/4 of a cup of really fine sugar. Ooh, look at this! I'm so excited! See the lines that are starting to form? That's a really, really good sign. I think these are done. They need to be stiff and fluffy, and that looks like a great stiff peak. That means it's time to add our flour mixture. So I have my meringue, my whipped eggs, and I have my almond flour and almond flour and confectioner's sugar, and I'm gonna start mixing that in. They often recommend J motions, which is fun because J for Jordan. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna add my food coloring gel, and I want it to be really blue, so I put a decent amount in there. And then you just do this J motion until it gets mixed in. And they say you should probably do this for like 2 to 3 minutes or until you can make ribbons with the mixture.
Soon after.
Woo! My arm is burning, but it's starting to become blue. So no one is in my house right now besides me, and a door just closed upstairs, and Halloween was Saturday, so whatever. I know there's no one in my house because the windows are open and they just blew a door closed, but wow, it's supposed to fall off in thin ribbons. I've been told you should be able to do a figure 8 with it, and I can. So I think it's time to pipe this. I wish it was a little less liquidy because I have a hard time controlling the piping bag. Like I get spillage and they get messy and I'm like, oh, here we go. You know, it snowed here the other day. We were all like, what? It's Halloween, it's snowing? I wonder if like professional chefs ever watch amateur cooking on YouTube and just think, oh, the mistakes that you're making. Oh, I know exactly how these are going to turn out. Oh no, I wish I could help them, but alas, I have a business to uphold. Time is of the essence, Watson. I'm lucky because I have these sheets that have all these little circles on them. That really, honestly, doesn't make piping any easier because it comes out of the tip before I want it to.
That's what she said!
And I'm like, how do I control the flow?
That's what he said.
Last time I did them all in the small circles and they didn't expand at all. And they just looked like little snails. Oh no! Oh no! They look like snails! Oh, they're so cute though, look at them! It was very funny. Okay, they're expanding, which is always a great sign. This is the best I've probably ever done. I'll preheat the oven and we'll let them sit and we have to pop the little bubbles on top with a toothpick. These bubbles are starting to form on the surface, which is actually a good sign. It's supposed to do that. So the recipe that I'm using says that you can let them sit from anywhere to 15 minutes to an hour, depending on the humidity, which I don't know how to measure humidity, but I feel like, I don't know, my hair's not super puffy today, so it's probably not that humid. Basically what I have to do is let them sit until the tops are no longer sticky. Thinking that I'm gonna start with 15 minutes, check them. If they have a film on top, I'm gonna let them go for 20 minutes and then I'll pop them in. I just don't want them to not sit long enough because if they don't have that nice skin on the top, they rise too much and they don't look the way you want them to look.
Later.
It's been about 20 minutes since I popped all the bubbles. It's not sticky. So I think I'm gonna put them in the oven for 20 minutes. And we'll just cross our fingers, hope and pray. Lord Jesus, please let these macarons turn out nice. I actually am going to Gatlinburg this weekend and I need them to be good. They're what I said I'd bring. So while they're in the oven, I'm gonna get started on my filling, and I've decided to do a mint white chocolate filling. And I don't have the exact ingredients that are listed, so I'm improvising. I've got white chocolate chips. It says to use heavy cream, then a peppermint oil. I don't have either of those things. I do have this mint truffle coffee creamer, so I'm gonna try to use that as my heavy cream. And then I have to add 1 tablespoon of butter. And then it says to microwave in 30-second intervals and mix together until smooth. Doesn't make a ton of sense to me because if it's smooth, it's not gonna be like a frosting solid. So I have a feeling I'm about to have to do some mad science experimentation. I literally only mixed it for 30 seconds and it's smooth. It's literally liquid, which is not gonna work. I'm really nervous. They're kind of cracking on the top, just a little, and they're just starting to brown. I think I'm running into the same problem where the tops are separating from the bottom. No, I don't think they're done. I actually don't think they're done. They're gonna crumble. This is the problem that I've been having, is that they're just like far too delicate and they just crumble, and it makes me so sad.
Thousands of tears later.
So I want to show you a problem I've been having, and maybe you guys can comment some advice below. Like if we look really close here, you can see they're kind of separating, like right there, from the base and cracking on top. I don't know what causes that to happen. Maybe oh my gosh, I didn't kill it. The frosting that I made, I ended up having to put the filling that I made, I ended up having to put in the fridge for a while because it was just too liquidy. It actually gave me time to make a whole other batch of cookies. I feel like that looks pretty nice, you guys. It's pretty okay, and okay is what we're going for. So I don't know where my professional taste testers are, but that is a pretty good look. Hey!
Hey.
You want to try one of these?
That's good. It tastes like vanilla to me. Minty vanilla. I don't know.
It's mint white chocolate.
Mint white chocolate. Okay, so minty chocolate, minty vanilla, that's close.
It's close. This is like the most successful batch I've had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 good ones. This is a messier one because the frosting wasn't quite solidified. Mom's gonna taste it and tell me what she thinks. Sorry, it's messy. Good luck. Did I tell you what flavor they are?
Should you tell me or should I guess?
You should guess.
Really crunchy, and the inside is really good. Needs to set up a little bit more, do you think?
Yeah.
And really good. I'd say like a minty.
Uh-huh. That's white chocolate mint. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Come back to my channel for more fun and entertaining content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I love you 3000 lovelies. Bye.
Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's Jordan. Like and subscribe!
If you liked this video, go ahead and check out my other macaroon making video or my most recent upload, which is very spooky and Halloween themed. Click it. I dare you. And if you feel like it, subscribe. Like and subscribe.